Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Model demonstration of the superior lateral surface of the brain, including all the important sulci and the gyri. So we'll start with the first and the most important prominent sulcus, and that is the central sulcus. This region represents the central sulcus. And anterior to the central sulcus, we've got the precentral gyrus. The precentral gyrus. And anterior to the precentral gyrus, we've got another sulcus known as the precentral sulcus. This is the precentral sulcus. Sulcus is a depression, so this depression represents the the precentral sulcus. Central sulcus. Posterior to the central sulcus, we've got the postcentral gyrus. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Again, central sulcus, and this is the postcentral gyrus. The postcentral gyrus and the postcentral sulcus. The postcentral sulcus which goes up, postcentral sulcus. Now from the from the postcentral sulcus, we've got this small sulcus going towards the occipital lobe, and this is the intraparietal sulcus. The intraparietal sulcus, which originates from the postcentral sulcus. This is the postcentral sulcus, this is the intraparietal sulcus, and superior to the intraparietal sulcus, we've got the superior parietal lobule, and inferior to the intraparietal sulcus, we've got the inferior parietal lobule. The inferior parietal lobule. Okay. And in the frontal cortex, we've got two sulci which divide the cortex into three gyri. We've got the superior frontal gyrus, superior frontal gyrus. This is the sulci. This is the superior frontal sulcus. This depression represents the superior frontal sulcus. This is the inferior frontal sulcus, inferior central sulcus. And these two sulci, they divide the frontal lobe into three gyri: the superior frontal gyrus, the middle frontal gyrus, and the inferior frontal gyrus. Okay. And this is the lateral sulcus which separates the temporal lobe from the parietal lobe and the frontal lobe. So from the frontal cortex, this is the lateral sulcus. The lateral sulcus has got a posterior ramus which goes posteriorly. This is the posterior ramus. This direction, the direction in which the pen is pointing represents the direction of the posterior ramus. And in this region, we will find the ascending ramus. The ascending ramus, and inferiorly we will find the anterior horizontal ramus. This is the anterior horizontal ramus of the lateral sulcus, also known as the Sylvian fissure. Okay, now we've got the temporal cortex. So in the temporal cortex, we've got two sulci which divide the temporal cortex into three gyri. We've got the superior temporal sulcus, and the middle temporal sulcus. Superior temporal sulcus, the middle temporal sulcus, which divide the temporal cortex into superior temporal gyrus, the middle temporal gyrus, and inferior temporal gyrus. So this was about the superior lateral surface of the brain.